thing when the most exciting or fantastic thing you can do in this life is die.
Paul Elder's experience began here at the Swift Current Civic Center in November of 1992. He was playing in an old-timers hockey game when suddenly it felt like he had been hit in the chest with a sledgehammer. There was excruciating pain flowing through his elbow. Paul Elder was having a heart attack, and he needed help quickly. An ambulance arrived, and Elder was strapped to a stretcher, given oxygen, and rushed to the hospital. They had just gone a block when a member of the ambulance crew began asking him questions. When Elder started to answer, something strange happened. A buzzing noise started in the center of his head. It seemed like everything was closing in on him. Then there was a whooshing sound as everything went black. He couldn't see, couldn't hear, and the intense pain he felt just a few seconds before was completely gone.
The sensation was most incredible. It's difficult to describe it. I had never felt better in my entire life. It was like every molecule in my body was buzzing, and it was just pure energy. A bit of a surprise to me because I seemed to be floating. And soon they floated up to the top of the ambulance, and I could see the young lady bent over top of me, working on. I could see my body on the stretcher inside the ambulance. And remarkably, I had no fears or anything. In fact, it was absolute elation. I had little emotion for the body that was lying there, that was me. And the most incredible thing, the most incredible feeling that I've ever had in my life was in this state, just floating there. And I knew what was happening then, and I knew where I was going, and it was like I'm going home, and it was extreme. I was ecstatic.
Suddenly, he felt himself move through the top of the ambulance as it moved down the street. Elder then sensed a pressing need to be somewhere else, as he moved quite rapidly toward a very bright light at the end of the darkness. Then, as quickly as it began, Paul Elder was back in his body in the hospital. Doctors yelling and screaming, jamming needles into his body to keep him alive.
From then on, you have absolutely no fear of death. Because I know what it's all about, and I know what will happen, and it's nothing, absolutely nothing to be afraid of. In some ways, I look forward to it, but it just gives you an insight, you know, an absolute knowing, you know, that everything is fine, and that we don't end our existence here as a cold corpse in the ground. When you die and you pass on into the next stage, that when you're buried and in the ground, it really doesn't matter who won and who lost, or how successful you were, or how rich you were. The only thing that matters is how you treated people along the way. And that it was such a plain message that I came back with, that it was so important in this life how we treat other souls on this similar journey that we have.